The future is closer than we think, yet farther than we understand. Every day, we wake up believing tomorrow will look like today, just a little faster, a little smarter, a little more advanced. History shows this belief is usually wrong. The future does not arrive gently. It arrives suddenly, often silently. And when it comes, it changes the rules before we realize the game has changed. This is why the most important question of our time is not what will happen next year or even in the next decade. The real question is who will shape the ideas that decide our future. For thousands of years, humans tried to predict the future by looking at the stars, reading sacred texts, or trusting political promises. Today, we use data, algorithms, and powerful machines, yet the result is the same. The future remains uncertain. This uncertainty is not a weakness. It is a responsibility, because the future is not fixed. It is built, step by step, by the ideas we choose to believe in and the systems we allow to grow. Most people think the future is shaped by technology alone. Faster computers, smarter machines, stronger networks. This is only half the truth. Technology does not decide our destiny. Ideas do. Technology is a tool. Ideas tell us how to use it. The same technology can create freedom or control, equality or extreme concentration of power. The difference is not in the machine. The difference is in the story we tell ourselves about who we are and where we are going. In this video, you will learn why the most dangerous changes in history did not begin with weapons or inventions, but with ideas that quietly became normal. You will learn how stories about progress, growth, and efficiency are reshaping politics, work, and even human identity. You will discover why the future may belong not to those who predict it, but to those who question it. And you will see how decisions being made today, often without public debate, could define human life for generations. There is a lesser-known pattern in history. Every major transformation begins when old explanations stop working. People feel confused. Institutions feel fragile. Certainty disappears. This is the moment when new ideas gain power, not because they are true, but because they offer clarity. Today, we are living in such a moment. Old ideas about jobs, privacy, freedom, and meaning are under pressure. New ideas promise solutions. Some of them are helpful. Some of them are dangerous. All of them demand attention. Many believe the future will be decided by experts behind closed doors. Engineers, politicians, corporations. This belief is comforting because it removes responsibility, but it is also false. The future is shaped by collective belief, by what societies accept, tolerate, and celebrate. When people stop asking difficult questions, power flows quietly to those who do not hesitate to answer them. In the coming minutes, this video will explore how artificial intelligence is changing not only what we do, but how we think about ourselves. It will explain why data has become more valuable than land, oil, or gold, and why this shift matters more than most headlines suggest. It will reveal how control in the future may not rely on force, but on convenience, how freedom can disappear not through fear but through comfort. You will also learn why many political debates miss the real issue. The problem is not left or right, not capitalism or socialism. The deeper question is whether humans will remain meaningful decision makers in a world run by systems that know us better than we know ourselves. This is not science fiction. This is already happening, quietly, unevenly, and often without clear consent. There is drama in this story, but not the kind found in explosions or dramatic speeches. The drama lies in small choices, repeated billions of times. Clicking agree without reading, trusting recommendations more than reflection, allowing speed to replace wisdom. Together they shape civilizations. By watching until the end of this video, you will gain a clearer understanding of why the future is not something that simply happens to us. It is something we participate in, whether we are aware of it or not. You will leave with sharper questions, not easy answers. And in an age flooded with predictions, questions are more valuable than forecasts. This channel exists to slow things down, to think deeply in a fast world, to examine power, technology, and humanity without panic, but without comfort either. If you care about the long-term future of human life, about freedom, meaning, and responsibility in the age of intelligent machines, then this video is for you. Stay with us until the end, because the final insight ties everything together. It shows why the future will not be decided by a single invention or a single leader, but by the ideas we allow to guide our choices today. Welcome to our channel. If you value clear thinking in uncertain times, subscribe now and join a community that does not just consume information, but questions it. Humans care about the future in a way no other species does. Animals respond to the present. They react to hunger, danger, and comfort. Humans live somewhere else. They live inside stories about tomorrow. A human can suffer today for a promise that exists only in the mind. This strange ability is the source of both our greatness and our danger. It allows us to build cities, plan empires, and sacrifice comfort for goals that may never arrive. The power of our species does not come from muscles or sharp senses. It comes from imagination, not private imagination, but shared imagination. When millions of people believe in the same story, that story becomes real in its consequences. Nations exist because people believe in borders. Money works because people trust symbols. Laws function because people accept ideas written on paper. None of these things exist in nature, yet they shape the world more than rivers or mountains. Because humans believe in the future, they organize the present around it. Children spend years in schools for jobs they do not yet have. Adults work long hours for retirement they may never reach. Governments invest in projects that will benefit people not yet born. This long-term thinking creates stability, but it also creates vulnerability. When the future story changes, entire systems can collapse overnight. Technology follows belief, not the other way around. Humans first imagine a better tomorrow, then build machines to reach it. Every tool reflects an idea about progress, efficiency, or control. When beliefs change, technology changes direction. This is why the future is not shaped by inventions alone, but by the values that guide them. What people believe today quietly becomes the structure of tomorrow's reality. Technology has always shaped human life, but something has changed in recent decades. Tools once extended human strength. Later, they extended human memory. Now they are beginning to replace human judgment. Artificial intelligence is not just another invention, it is a turning point. For the first time, humans are building systems that can learn, adapt, and make decisions without direct human instruction. This shifts power in a way history has never seen before. In earlier ages, land defined wealth. Later, gold and factories took its place. Today, data has become the most valuable resource on Earth. Every search, movement, and conversation produces information. This information is collected, stored, and analyzed at a scale no human mind can grasp. Those who control data gain the ability to predict behavior, influence choices, and shape entire societies. Power moves away from physical space and into invisible networks. As algorithms grow more accurate, humans increasingly trust them. Machines recommend what to watch, what to buy, where to go, and even whom to trust. Decisions that once required reflection are now outsourced to systems optimized for speed and efficiency. This convenience feels harmless, but it slowly weakens human agency. When people stop deciding, they stop practicing judgment. Over time, this changes how humans understand responsibility and freedom. The danger is not that machines will rebel. The danger is that humans will adapt themselves to machines. Education, work, and relationships begin to revolve around what systems can measure and optimize. Qualities that cannot be quantified, such as wisdom, empathy, and moral courage, risk becoming less valuable. In such a world, humanity may no longer sit at the center of its own story. Human societies are built on stories. These stories tell people who they are, what matters, and why the world works the way it does. Religions offer meaning and moral order. Nations create loyalty among strangers. Political ideologies promise justice, growth, or equality. None of these systems exist in nature. They exist because people believe in them together. For centuries, these stories provided stability and direction. Today, many of these stories are under pressure. Technology moves faster than tradition. Scientific knowledge challenges ancient explanations. Global networks weaken national borders. When people can see many belief systems at once, it becomes harder to fully commit to just one. The stories that once felt eternal now feel temporary and fragile. This does not happen suddenly. It happens slowly, quietly, and unevenly across societies. When old stories lose their power, they do not disappear at once. They linger, repeated by habit rather than conviction. People follow rules without understanding their purpose. Symbols remain, but their meaning fades. This creates confusion. Individuals feel lost. Communities argue over identity. Leaders struggle to inspire trust because the shared narrative no longer holds everyone together. At the same time, new stories are forming. They are not announced with ceremonies or scriptures. They emerge from technology, markets, and algorithms. Ideas about efficiency, optimization, and constant improvement begin to replace older moral frameworks. These new myths spread silently, without debate, shaping behavior before people realize what they are accepting. For most of history, work has been more than a way to survive. It has been a source of identity, pride, and meaning. Farmers, craftsmen, teachers, and soldiers understood their place in society through what they did each day. As machines take over more tasks, this connection between work and meaning begins to weaken. Automation does not only replace jobs, it replaces purpose. People may still receive income, but income alone does not answer the deeper question of why one matters. Unemployment is painful, but it is not the most dangerous condition. A society can survive temporary job loss. It can offer training, support, and time to adjust. A useless class is different. This refers to large groups of people who feel that they no longer contribute anything valuable and that no future system truly needs them. Such a feeling erodes dignity and self-respect. It creates anger, shame, and deep frustration that no economic policy can easily fix. When people lose meaning, anxiety grows. Anxiety makes individuals easier to manipulate. They seek certainty, authority, and simple answers. Control does not need force in such conditions. It can arrive through comfort, distraction, and constant stimulation. People trade freedom for relief without noticing the exchange. Psychological vulnerability becomes a political resource. This crisis remains mostly invisible because it does not appear in financial reports or employment statistics. Yet it shapes behavior, voting patterns, and social tension. The greatest danger is not poverty, but emptiness, spreading quietly through societies that still appear successful on the surface. Power has always depended on information. In the past, rulers struggled to know what people were thinking or doing. Today, this problem is disappearing. Modern technology allows constant monitoring of movement, communication, and behavior. Cameras watch streets, phones track locations, applications record preferences, habits, and emotions. This level of surveillance would have been impossible for any previous empire. It does not require soldiers on every corner. It requires sensors, software, and servers. Control no longer needs open violence. When systems can predict behavior, they can influence it in advance. Instead of punishing actions after they happen, power works by shaping choices before they are made. Recommendations guide attention. Notifications direct behavior. People follow paths designed by algorithms believing they act freely. The most effective control is quiet and efficient, not brutal or loud. What makes this shift especially dangerous is that much of it is voluntary. People carry tracking devices in their pockets and place cameras inside their homes. They trade privacy for convenience, speed, and comfort. This exchange feels reasonable in daily life, but over time it changes the balance of power. Those who collect data gain deep insight into human psychology, while individuals lose control over their own information. In such a system, authority does not always wear a uniform or hold a weapon. It may appear as a friendly interface, a helpful assistant, or a personalized service. Power becomes invisible, embedded in everyday life, shaping society without ever announcing its presence. For centuries, education focused on storing information in the human mind. Students memorized facts, formulas, and dates because knowledge was rare and slow to change. Today, information is everywhere. Facts can be accessed instantly. The problem is no longer how to remember, but how to choose, interpret, and respond. An education system built for the past struggles to prepare people for a world that changes faster than any textbook. The most valuable skill in such a world is adaptability. Many professions that exist today will disappear or transform beyond recognition. New roles will appear without clear definitions. People will need to learn, unlearn, and relearn throughout their lives. This requires mental flexibility, not rigid expertise. Those who cling too tightly to a single identity or skill risk becoming irrelevant, not because they lack intelligence, but because they resist change. Emotional intelligence becomes essential under these conditions. As machines outperform humans in calculation and pattern recognition, human strengths shift toward understanding emotions, relationships, and values. Self-awareness helps individuals recognize their fears, biases, and limits. Without it, people are easily overwhelmed by uncertainty and manipulation. Education that ignores the inner world leaves individuals unprepared for external pressure. Learning how to manage attention, cope with stress, and maintain curiosity matters as much as technical ability. In an unpredictable future, survival depends less on what one knows and more on how quickly one can grow beyond it. Many of the greatest challenges facing humanity today do not respect borders. Climate change spreads across oceans and continents, altering weather, food systems, and water supplies without asking for permission. Artificial intelligence develops in one country, but can influence economies, security, and social life worldwide. Pandemics move faster than any quarantine, affecting every nation regardless of its wealth or power. These problems cannot be contained by walls, armies, or political slogans. Nationalism, which emphasizes the interests of one country over others, is inadequate in addressing such threats. A nation can act in isolation for a time, but the effects of global problems eventually reach every corner of the world. Emphasizing competition over cooperation may provide short-term advantage, yet it often worsens long-term outcomes. Solutions require thinking that transcends borders and prioritizes shared survival over local gain. Cooperation is no longer an option, it is a necessity. Scientific research must be shared internationally. Resources for prevention and adaptation must be coordinated globally. Decision-making must account for the ripple effects on distant populations. This requires trust, communication, and a recognition that humanity is a single interconnected system rather than a collection of separate units. Survival depends on acknowledging interdependence. Thinking as one species also means re-evaluating values and priorities. Short-term political victories matter less than long-term survival. Equity becomes not just a moral concern, but a practical one because vulnerabilities in one region can spread quickly to others. Global challenges demand solutions that are as large, flexible, and interconnected as the problems themselves. Technology moves at a speed that often outpaces human understanding. Machines can process information, make decisions, and even learn in ways that far exceed our cognitive limits. Yet wisdom, the ability to judge consequences, understand values, and weigh trade-offs, develops slowly. This gap creates a dangerous landscape. Innovations are implemented before societies fully grasp their impact, and decisions that seem logical in the short term may have irreversible consequences in the long term. Power amplified by technology becomes particularly risky without ethical guidance. Algorithms can manipulate behavior, genetic editing can alter life, and artificial intelligence can control resources and information. When these tools are used without moral consideration, the consequences can be catastrophic. History is full of examples where power without ethics caused suffering, yet the pace and scale of modern technology make the stakes higher than ever before. Ethical reflection is no longer optional, it is essential for survival. In the future, asking the right questions will matter more than having immediate answers. Questions about fairness, responsibility, and human value guide the use of power and technology. They prevent blind application and force society to consider long-term consequences. Just because humans can invent something, automate a process, or intervene in nature does not mean that they should. Decisions made without reflection may achieve efficiency, but at the cost of freedom, dignity, or life itself. Thinking ethically is not a limitation, it is a form of protection against mistakes that machines cannot repair. The future is not written. It is still open, shaped by choices we make today, and the ideas we allow to guide our societies. Awareness is the first defense against the forces that seek to control or simplify human life. Understanding the risks, the technologies, and the stories around us is the only way to preserve freedom, meaning, and dignity. Responsibility does not rest with governments or corporations alone. It belongs to every individual. Every choice, every belief, and every action contributes to the world we will live in tomorrow. The future will not be decided by machines alone. It will be decided by the ideas we choose to believe. If you want to explore these ideas, think critically, and understand the forces shaping tomorrow, support our work. Like this video if it opened your mind, and subscribe to our channel for more insights that challenge the way we see the world and help us prepare for the future together.